Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Hyper Bitcoinization. My name is Spike. If you can enjoy a cocktail with me, please do. It's actually not a cocktail. It's just straight up whiskey and ice. Look, I'm fired up today, all right, for a few reasons. And you're going to get the hash of it, right? And maybe you're the person who's been into Bitcoin for a while now. Maybe you've been in for a couple months, a few years, multiple years like myself. It's probably not going to matter how long you've been in the game, but there is absolutely one thing that you need to know. Are you ready for it? And I'm going to tell it to you just as straight as it is. You don't own enough Bitcoin, all right? And if you've continuously been buying over this last bear market, I know that you feel this, right? Every Bitcoiner, I promise you, even Michael Saylor, even the Winklevoss twins, Satoshi himself will tell you that they don't have enough Bitcoin, all right? That is my free financial advice for the day. You don't have enough Bitcoin. So, look, the goal is to stack more Bitcoin, all right? Stack more Bitcoin. You should not be doing anything else right now in this time frame. Even the last 2 years, you should not have been doing anything else except for acquiring more Bitcoin, all right? Like, look, I get it. We're all human. We like to do other stuff. We like to party. We like to drink beer. We like to buy whiskey. I like to buy watches. We like to go travel, right? There's a lot of things that we should do, and absolutely you should do them because you don't even know if you're going to be here tomorrow. The fact that we're all here today is just a blessing in itself, right? So I get it. There's things that you're going to want to do. However, you got to start putting the priority of things higher on your list. And yes, that is Bitcoin. Owning more Bitcoin, acquiring more Bitcoin. Man, this just blew my mind the other day. So chatting with some old friends, guys I haven't talked to in about 14 years. And you know, these guys, they don't know exactly my full Bitcoin story. They don't know where I'm at with it. They just know I'm the Bitcoin dude, right? Everybody who knows me knows I'm the Bitcoin dude, even if they don't know my story, my background behind it. These guys were quite literally sitting at the table with me saying like, hey, we're all trying to pull money together. We're trying to find about $50,000. We're going to invest it. We're going to find some sort of real estate. We're going to find some sort of business deal. We're going to boost all of our credit scores. We're going to pay off our debt with this giant pool of $50,000, right? And like, so, you know, I'm asking questions. And like immediately hit them with like, first off, I'm not interested. The reason why I'm not interested, the main reason is because this $50,000 pool that you guys have would have quite literally a month or two ago bought you a full coin and some more. And you'll end up profiting, doing better off with that investment than you would buying real estate, than you would buying gold, buying stocks, buying bonds, right? Unless you landed crazy and you hit some crazy stock options, there's not a lot that you can do with that money in the long term, especially if you're thinking about 5, 10, 15, 30, 100, 300 years from now, that would have been more beneficial, okay? There's just not. There's nothing on the market currently that is going to beat Bitcoin. I will absolutely tell you that with certainty. Okay, Bitcoin is 15 years old at this point. All those stories are still going to be out there about how it's going to be a failure or how it's going to zero every time it dumps. That's just not the case, all right? It's just not the case. And by the way, after this little rant that I have, or whatever this is that you want to call it, I will get into some deeper stuff today, all right? And I have some pretty cool ideas for the next week of Bitcoin videos lined up, a few of which are going to be taking place in California. So, listen, this is a great time to be alive. This is a great time to be alive. And if you have not started what you should have been starting years ago as far as your Bitcoin allocation goes. I don't care if it's daily, I don't care if it's weekly, I don't care if it's bi-weekly or monthly. You have to have something built in place where it doesn't matter what happens, right? You're not buying weed, You're not buying ganja. You're not buying more plane tickets if you've already been to 15 places. You're not buying your 15th bottle of whiskey. You're not buying your new car, right? Whatever it is, you really need to try to focus on acquiring more Bitcoin, right? We just talked about this in one of my few other videos. There's 64 million millionaires on the planet. On the whole planet, there's 64 million millionaires, all right? There are 21 million Bitcoin. There's only 21 million of these. Not even every single millionaire can afford one Bitcoin. Not even every single millionaire can afford half of a Bitcoin. Not even every single millionaire can buy a quarter of a Bitcoin, all right? Please set yourself up. Get that million Satoshis, that 0.01. Then get to that 10 million, that 0.1. And if you get to even 0.25 Bitcoin, eventually you will be one of the top 1% in the entire world, right? It might sound crazy, but when you look at the numbers, when you dig deep into it, it's not crazy. It's not crazy at all. And by far, it makes the most sense to spend your money on than anything else. All right, I want to show you one more chart, which I've showed again previously in other videos, which is the Bitcoin halving chart, right? In the next month, today's the 20th. Today's March 20th. In approximately exactly 1 month from now, we will have the 4th Bitcoin halving that ever happens. Okay, out of what, the 32 or so that there is, we have just started this race. We have just started this race, okay? And by the way, this is the fastest horse. This horse doesn't get injured. This horse doesn't get tired. This horse keeps getting stronger. It keeps getting bigger. It keeps getting faster, more volatile, more violent, more providable, more trustable, more secure. The longer this race goes, all right? And let me tell you what, this race is a pretty long goddamn race. And there's going to be a ton of other players or opportunities or investments that get kicked out, fall to the ground, get tired, they give up, and they're going to have no choice but to throw themselves into Bitcoin. Okay? Everything will be demonetized and thrown into Bitcoin. That is where we get the start of this hyper Bitcoinization, where the world's whatever it is, $83 trillion of total value starts flooding into Bitcoin slowly but surely. So let me show you this Bitcoin chart one more time. I need you to understand this. Every 210,000 blocks, a halving occurs. So we are about to be, in 2024, in 1 month, we're about to get to the 840th thousand block. All right? Currently, right now, we are at block 835,000, right? We need 4,410 more blocks, approximately 1 month, until this next halving. Every 4 years, the block reward, what the miners are actually getting as a reward for mining, securing, validating the network, gets cut in half every 4 years. All right? So at a minimum, even if this thing didn't get cut in half and people hold on to the supply, which is a finite of 21 million supply, there's going to be a ton of people that never want to sell it, which means there's going to be even less and less and less in the future. When you add the fact that the reward gets cut in half every 4 years, the daily issuance gets cut in supply every 4 years, and you still have that demand increase, you still have that finite supply, and the last Satoshi is not going to be mined until 2140? All right, come on, we're all going to be dead by then. That's more than 100 years from right now that we're talking about. All right, let's get to 2032. Block number will be 1.2 million. The reward of that will be 78 million Satoshis, 0.78. All right, 2036, 0.39. 2040, right? So even getting past 2032, like I realize 0.78 is going to be hard for a lot of people, especially right now, accumulating that much right now. That's going to cost you like $55,000. All right, I get it. That's tough. Dollar cost average every single week, bi-weekly, monthly. You get closer to that goal every single time you get some bucks. All right, but these numbers here, anything past 2036, right? 39 million sats, 19 million sats. For a lot of people right now, they hold 9 million sats. They hold 4 million sats. They hold 2 million sats, 1 million sats, right? That's going to be the reward over the next 20 years. That's crazy. You can't tell me right now that for 650 bucks, you don't want to stack a million Satoshis that in 2056 are going to be worth, could quite possibly be worth $1 million. Right? If you're looking about it in fiat terms, which I won't be, but a lot of people want to see that price, right? One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. We're going to see the $1 million Bitcoin, right? In my eyes, that happens absolutely before 2030, especially with what we have going on now, future inflation to come, future depreciation in dollars to come. More trillions of dollars being spent for whatever reasons, not being able to meet our interest payments on our debt, our interest payments getting higher, right? Like there's a lot of things that can definitely go wrong, and banks are on the verge of that right now. Where you're telling me $640, $1,000, $10,000, go sell your car, right? I don't care. Take the bus every single day. Ride your bike every single day, right? And like, yeah, there's limits to this. I get it. Maybe if you live in California, that's easier than if you live in Colorado or Canada, places where it snows, right? But like, seriously, think about what you can. I'm going to import this clip right now, right? Because one, there is no second best. How should you be buying Bitcoin? This right here.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin. Then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business, it's in your family for 37 years, and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin.
Hey, okay, welcome back. I'm glad you're back. Listen, I'm gonna kind of stop ranting as much as I have. But before we continue, because I do want to get into a little bit of the charts, I want to look at kind of what's going on right now. I do want to come back to the channel, and so let me blow this up for you real fast. The channel is doing decent, right? I don't really care how the channel does. I don't care how many views I get. I don't care how many subscribers I get. But it would be nice to get this content, which I believe is useful, which I believe is valuable, out to more people who need it, right? Maybe you're a hardcore Bitcoiner, just like I am. Awesome. I'm going to make content for you. Maybe you are a beginner Bitcoiner. Awesome. I'm going to make content for you. Maybe you're not even into Bitcoin yet. Maybe your friend sent you this video. Maybe your friend sent you any of the other number of my videos. Awesome. All right. The goal here with this channel is to just provide education. So comment any questions that you might have, any video ideas you might have that you want me to touch on. That way I can get to it. But please like and subscribe to the channel. It'll help me out a lot. We just touched on how far we have until the halving. We've got about 1,000 blocks left until the next difficulty adjustment, right? So if you're new to this part, every 2,016 blocks, the difficulty adjustment either raises or lowers based on how hard it is to mine blocks. Right now, blocks are being mined at 10-minute increments, which is exactly where Satoshi wanted it, every 10 minutes. So really, after this 1,000 blocks, if it continues at the same pace, it shouldn't increase the difficulty and it shouldn't lower the difficulty. What we're doing right now is awesome. New block, by the way. And, so if there's a ton of miners on mining right now, they're all plugged in, the difficulty is going to be a lot higher. And maybe it's 13-minute blocks, all right? So the system, after 16 blocks, is going to drop itself a little bit lower so that it gives it that fair chance. Comes down from 13 back to 10. Same thing in reverse, right? If it's going too fast, they're doing 8-minute blocks, it's going to raise the difficulty back up to 10 minutes. That is like, by the way, that is one of the maybe coolest things that Satoshi has integrated into the software of Bitcoin, right? The 21 million cap wouldn't be anything without the halving cycle every 4 years, without that 810,000 difference between the cycles, and then that 2016 difficulty adjustment. If none of that stuff was added, the 21 million, I mean, yeah, maybe eventually it would take off in 100 years, something like that, but like we're 15 years in. This thing's the 9th best asset in the entire planet, all right? We've got tons of time left. If this is how we're starting the race, folks, I promise you, the race is going to get crazier. And it's not downward side to Bitcoin, all right? I need you guys to understand this. So, listen, we had our first, maybe our second, right? You would call this the first. When we approached our previous all-time high of 69K, we went from 69 to 59. It was about a 10% drop, $10,000 candle, all in one day. And look what happened here, right? It was a positive day candle. It shot up to the sky. Negative down day. And what do we do after that? We picked ourselves back up, and we continued trucking on and pacing up a new all-time high. All right, this was the second downfall, which was about 18%. I showed you this in yesterday's video, and we're already back up 18%, right? We're back up to that level before we stopped, before we dropped. We're on the top of that median level as far as Bollinger Bands go. And, you know, technical analysis works. Sometimes it doesn't. All I'm trying to tell you is, sip time. All I'm trying to tell you is that if you missed your opportunity yesterday, all right? Yesterday was an opportunity. If you missed this $10,000 dip opportunity, if you missed all of the opportunity when we were at 40K, if you missed the opportunity when we were at 26K, if you missed the opportunity when we touched the low over here at 15, right? If you missed all of that over the last 2 years, maybe you're barely getting into Bitcoin, or you just have not taken it seriously, stop not taking it seriously. This is the time to dive in. Figure out what this is. Learn about it. Do nothing all day when you drive but listen to podcasts. All right? Listen to the Bitcoin videos. And don't touch any of that dog shit cryptocurrency shit coins. All right? All the shit coins right now are still down from the dump that happened over the last few days, right? Over this week. They're still down. Bitcoin's come all the way back up already. We're $6,000 away from the all-time high, and we're 18% gain back up in one day. All right? The altcoins are still sitting down there. Yeah, over the last like maybe 4 months, you might have made some pretty good money with that. But at some point, this altcoin season is going to die. And no, I don't even think it's picked up to its max yet, all right? If you're in it, you're going to make a ton of money. But you're going to lose a ton of money too, because you're not going to sell it right away. The exchanges are going to break when you want to. Wallets are going to be used wrong. You're going to be rushed. You're going to be panicking. You're going to be frenetic. It's not going to go right, all right? I promise you. But I hope it does. And in the meantime, the altcoin run's going to stop, and the Bitcoin run's going to continue pumping. And over the course, you would have made more money and been able to provide for your family more just with Bitcoin. Okay, this is not for you. This is not for me. This is for my kids. This is for my grandkids. And hell yeah, I am going to benefit from this. All right, but the amount of wealth, generational wealth, I'm going to be able to leave my family and put them into a better position than what I grew up with, what my previous family grew up with, any of the other struggles, right? Whatever. You can make all sort of claims about how even being rich can lead to certain things, right? All I know is I'm fighting to put my family, my people, I would hope that my country all follows with hard money. No American, not even American, no human deserves to be stolen from for their dollar that they use on a daily basis, that they rely on to live their everyday life, pay for expensive, pay for necessities, utilities, things they want, should ever be stolen, devalued, debased. This dilemma I have, guys. All right, there's just so many people who don't get it. They're not understanding it. Awesome, whatever. I'm going to be patient with you guys. But there's a lot of us who've been involved or know about this. They're not watching the videos. They're not listening to the podcast. They just check the price. They're not dollar cost averaging. They just check the price. They bought their $100 worth 3 years ago. They just checked the price. All right? Dig in. Dig in. Please, if you do anything for yourself this year in 2024, I don't care what sort of goals and visions you had, take one off that is not important, or one that 3 months into this you're not even hitting, and devote your time into figuring this out. Dig deep. Dig deep. Sitting today, $67,900 Bitcoin's at. 52% Bitcoin dominance, Ethereum 16, shitcoins, everything else. 24-hour volume, 170 billion bucks, and Bitcoin's market cap is 1.3 trillion from 1.2 trillion last night, right? So hey, if you haven't followed me on social media yet, besides YouTube, please hit me up on X. It's HyperBitcoinization or @LovinSats. And then also, we got the Hyper Bitcoinization Instagram page, right? I'm putting out daily content, photos, videos, charts, anything like that. So, hey, again, if I provided you any value, and I think I've kind of went on a run for this, so we're not going to take a trip down memory lane for Twitter here, but again, if I provided any value, please show some love to the social media accounts. That'll help me grow, help us be able to distribute this information out to the folks that need it the most. And even some of us who have been in Bitcoin also need it. So I hope you guys appreciate the tough love, but give me some love. It'll help me out a lot. And please, like I said, continue to throw some stuff into the comments. I love to converse with you guys. And we'll catch you tomorrow. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.